Podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
Maybe we can still heal you. Why? So you could just lock me up? No. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
In the hell do you think you are?
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, that's
No,
how it
no,
works.
please,
Let's have it.
You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it, okay?
So Oz, this week we are going to have a bit of a Q&A episode. Last week we had a guest on, and so this week we are going to answer some questions that were brought up last week. We picked up a couple more, and if we get to it, we will talk about, or not really talk about, kind of bash Jupiter's legacy, if we get to it. If not, who cares, right?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. So, Oz, before we get to that, we had Mother's Day that came up, and one of our questions that we will get to later is about Mother's Day. Oz, do you have any belated Mother's Day wishes you would like to send out there?
Just to all the wonderful, influential mothers that have in my life, or mothers that have inspired me. I just hope they had a good day, and Mother's Day is actually every day. You should honor your mother every day.
Well, to my mother, I do want to say a happy belated Mother's Day. I enjoyed spending time with you on that day. To Uncle Oz's mother, happy Mother's Day to you as well. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you and talk to you as well. And your great-grandson thoroughly enjoys spending time with you as well. Ain't that right, Oz?
Very true.
Very true. Okay, so I mean, let's jump right into it. We can get right into one of the Q&A questions that we had. Oz, I sent these to you earlier, so you should be well prepared for these, as am I. These were some thought-provoking questions. Let's start with one of our good friends, Hawk the Horrible. He sent us a Killmonger and a regular thought. Let's start with him. Regular thought, Killmonger. Is poison ivy okay with people smoking pot? Because technically, we're lighting her plants on fire. Also, why hasn't she tried to take over the world with a special strain of mind control pot? Oz, I'm expecting a great comic rant. Hashtag Oz needs followers. Hashtag give Oz the Morgan Freeman. And I think I can definitely, you can definitely get the Morgan Freeman for that.
Shoot this motherfucker!
And hashtag regular thought. So Oz, I'll let you have this one. Is poison ivy okay with people? Let's start with the first part. Smoking pot, since technically we are lighting her babies on fire.
Well, they're not her babies. She's psychotic, but she envisions herself being the protector of the earth. And so I would imagine that if you think about it, you would have to equate that with her being mad anytime anybody cuts grass. I think she'd be disturbed. I think she'd also, you know what? Here's a proper statement. She'd probably be bummed out by any illegal substances because cocaine comes from poppy seeds. Beer has harps and barley. You know, so I think she would be the ultimate like straight edge triple X girl. So, which would be no fun.
I actually disagree. I think she enjoys smoking weed. I think she's a heavy pothead, and I think that anytime she wants someone to fall under her spell, she ain't doing nothing but giving somebody a contact high. I mean, let's look at Batman and Robin. All she did was give them boys a contact high and had them fighting over her. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, but don't you? Well, I mean, there's all sorts of perspectives, but I think that another perspective is to think that you're literally like killing her plant for selfish use.
That's true. Or you could look at it as you are embracing and intaking her plants and letting her plants become a part of you and infuse into your bloodstream. There's a couple different ways you could look at it. It just depends on how you think Poison Ivy views the buds. Because I don't think, I think she's on that high, that high quality stuff, that dirt mid-grade stuff. I don't think that's even hers.
Really?
That's just what I think. I don't think she messed with the middies.
You literally think Poison Ivy, who has killed people for crushing a rose, and I can hear the dogs in the background. That's going to start driving me crazy. You think that she's smoking her own babies to get high. Not that she has plants that emit all sorts of stuff to get her high, but she thinks she's like, no, I need to smoke the chronic and kill my plants.
Well, no, you bring up a good point. She may not be smoking her plants, but she is definitely inhaling and getting high off of her plants. She is definitely a pothead. She just don't smoke. That's a good point. But she is definitely inhaling and catching a serious contact off of the chronic. Snoop Dogg's definitely her favorite rap artist.
Yeah, I don't think she's killing plants. I think there are enough plants that emit all sorts of weed or weed-like things that you don't need to be like, well, nah, man, I don't think that's happening at all.
All right.
Sorry, I get to agree to disagree to agree to disagree to disagree to agree.
Okay, well let's move on to the second part of Hawk the Horrible's question. Why hasn't she tried to take over the world with a special strain of Maya Control pot? Or has she and it just failed? Oz, what do you think?
Well, obviously, because you're saying she's a pothead. And she has no ambition.
Okay.
Yeah. So to answer Hawk's question, the reason why she's not trying to take over the world is because she's too busy on the couch chilling, dude, watching Half Baked all the time.
Okay, I actually think she's probably watching Friday, but Half Baked's not bad. Which movie do you prefer, Oz? You prefer Half Baked over Friday?
Yo, she is not watching Fridays.
What about How High?
Harley Quinn is probably watching Fridays for sure. Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, not so much. Joker, yes, is watching Friday.
What about How High?
Bane, not watching Friday. Again, why would she be watching something that glorifies killing her? You just said it, her children. Why would she be doing that?
Her babies.
Next year, Poison Ivy loves. You're like Poison Ivy loves horror movies because she's watching people smoke weed. Yeah,
so she's not eating a salad.
You're trying to say that her next favorite movie is Scarface because the way they turn poppy seed into cocaine, you're like, she's definitely down with that. She's not down with that, dude.
Okay. So now, do you think she has a special strain though that could take over the world? Or do you think because she doesn't want people smoking her plants that...
Have you ever had poison ivy?
No, actually, I have not.
Okay. Poison oak, Devil's Club, any of those kind of poison sumac, any of that stuff?
No, I've never been poisoned by a plant.
Okay. I promise you, you do not want to smoke anything that's called the poison ivy.
Well, I don't think she would name it the poison ivy.
If that thing is like, yo, it is like 97% THC. That's it. You're gonna be like, it's called what?
What if it's called sugar cookies?
Dude, and once again, if someone's on the street, it's like, yo, man, I got some sugar cookies for you. You're like, okay, cool. You're like, wait, I need that after I smoke the poison ivy.
All right, so last question before we set the table, because I am starting to get hungry. What is Poison Ivy's go-to munchie food?
Sugar cookies. Well,
No question, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's easy, man. Come on.
So so I'm guessing she's not a vegan and she doesn't do any of the juicing.
I have some serious issues for you. I feel like either this girl literally doesn't eat anything because that's just what her values are, or she's on some like straight up like what was that caveman diet that was just straight nothing but meat.
that's poison ivy.
She's like, I don't do vegetables. She's just like, I just eat nothing but meat, dude.
I'm just trying to figure out how she stays in such phenomenal shape then, to not eat any type of vegetables or any type of salad in her system. Or is she the salad?
She's on that keto, man. She's eating that meat, staying away from vegetables. Literally, I respect that.
Oh man, well that's a great start. We just spent the first half talking about weed and getting high off the poison ivy strand. So now I got the munchies. I love it. Now I got the munchies.
All my favorite subjects.
Well, now that we're nice and high and ready to eat, allow me to set the table. This is Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC. I am your host, Regular Scott. I am here with my co-host, the comic connoisseur, and obviously the strain connoisseur, the mighty Oz, the Killmonger Oz. What's going on?
They call me Snoop Oz, man. Yo, what is up, my comic comrades and all my people trying to find that poison ivy? Dude, let me tell you right now, don't do it.
If you find a strain called poison ivy and someone tries to sell it to you, don't take it. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Let me help you. PSA announcement right now. All my brethren, all my sisters out there. If someone says, yo, man, I got this thing called the poison ivy, you can be like, cool, man, I'm pass. Dude, that right there is a sign right there. You should not be touching that stuff, dude. That's a setup. That's something terrible.
That's bait.
That is straight up. Yo, man, I got the poison ivy. I got some Bitcoin.
I got the dog coin.
Dude, they got that Dogecoin, man. Yo, man, that is just like someone saying, yo, I also got crocodile, bath salt, and crack.
Crack. Well, you can find us on Twitter at Need for Marvel vs. DC. That's the number 4. You can email us, Need for Marvel vs. DC at GoDefyLife.com. You can also leave us a voicemail, 804-518-6631. You can find our podcast anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spreaker, Radio Public, Spotify, TuneIn, all those places you get your podcast. Like, subscribe, leave us 5 stars. You can also find our podcast at Defy Life Pods. That's the hub. You can find all of the Defy Life podcasts there. You can find our gear at TeePublic. We also have gear at Defy Life Gear. Oz, tell everyone where they can find you on Twitter. It's almost your time of the month, so you might be able to catch them on Twitter next week.
Pardon me.
Okay.
You can find me at Ozzy Real, and that's at OZZIEREAL. And by the way, I'm creeping. I just need the help of some loyal patrons, about 22 more, and we're on a mission. We are on the mission. We are Twitter. We can get Ozzy Real into that 50 space. We can do it. I believe in you. I believe in me. Let's do this, people.
Whoa.
Was that motivational?
Yeah, that was something. Last week we had Chris on from the Geek Peak podcast, and apparently he has got you very excited and motivated after last week. He gave you a little push, so I guess that push is working, huh?
And Chris, hey, I have a picture for you. I have a picture coming your way too, dude.
There you go. It's probably, I guess it's going to be that peanut butter jelly cheeseburger.
Well, so my old motivational speech was on, I think it's on Netflix or whatever. There's this thing called WeWork, and it's about this dude who goes just why do all these
Hulu? It's a Hulu documentary.
Right. Why do all these billionaires come from billionaires? Anyway, this dude is just he was just like, we work, we can do it. All the while he was just pocketing all the money.
Hey, can't knock that man hustle though.
Yes, you can. While you're smoking that poison ivy, remember you should not be hurting people to advance your own gains.
Yes, you can.
Remember what Obama said? Yes, we can. Yes, you can.
Oh,
you can criticize
man.
that too.
That's great. Well, Oz, we will definitely not be smoking any poison ivy, but we will be finishing this podcast. Or at least we are gonna try to. Oz, before we get back to our Q&A, let's play a little One's Gotta Go. I posted this one on Twitter and in our Facebook group. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Oz, you got yourself a drink there. You're shaking it in the camera. What you sipping on? Looks like water on ice.
Well, dude, you don't want me to make noise because last time you said the chatter of my ice and my drink consumed the show. So I was trying to let you see that I had it on mute. But now I got to do it.
That's so spiteful. So spiteful. Touche, though. Okay, so One's Gotta Go. Here are your 4 selections. We're going to be doing streaming services. Your 4 choices are Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, and HBO Max. One's Gotta Go.
Hulu, Disney Plus.
Netflix.
Name the other 2.
Netflix and HBO Max. There is something to each of them, man. There's something good in each of them.
Why you didn't put Amazon? Amazon has been killing the game.
Yeah, but I just don't feel like they have a banger. Like each one of those have a banger. Like each one of those has something special.
Okay, hold on. You're saying Invincible wasn't a banger.
I'm not saying that, but I wouldn't put it.
The boys and Invincible didn't start all this bad superhero stuff again. Are you serious?
They did, but I wouldn't pick those 2 shows above the ones I have on any of these 4.
Okay,
that's just me.
You're just you're lost in Marvel. You're lost in Marvel Knights, but that's okay.
I definitely wouldn't pick either of those 2 over Captain America, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Well, but it's not even fair to say HBO Max. HBO Max is a conglomerate of everything.
Exactly. I mean, how do you get rid of that? And Disney Plus is too. I mean, you got Star Wars, Marvel, and just like the classic Disney shows. Like it's so much content.
I say get rid of Disney Plus.
Wow.
Trash the whole thing.
Wow, that's ballsy. Ballsy.
Yeah. And I say trash the whole thing and start from the ground up and let's see what we can do.
Okay.
I was going to say that about HBO Max, but actually, I probably should say that about HBO Max because I just got finished watching Justice Society World War II. That was weird.
It's hard to get rid of HBO Max because I like being able to watch the movies at home, you know, and just in case they're not worthy of going to the theater on, like Mortal Kombat. I'm happy that I watch that at home instead of going to see that in theater, and that's because of HBO Max. I'm
happy to be watching Batman and Superman episodes.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you have the classic Batman episodes. You have the Justice League, all those different animated cartoons. You know, Young Justice will be coming back soon, so there's a lot to look forward to at HBO Max. I've been really
Young Justice is coming back.
I've been really big on the Handmaid's Tale lately. I've been binging that, so I can't get rid of Hulu right now.
Ugh.
I mean, is there a more depressing show than Handmaid's Tale that you can't take your eyes off of?
Is it really that depressing?
Oh, it's terribly depressing.
Oh, so it's depressing for everyone around her because she does not get fucked up like all her friends get fucked up, like losing eyeballs, getting killed.
She gets raped daily.
Slaughtered, like she. Dude,
what do you mean?
Dude. So do the rest of the women.
But
and
that's
they
what I'm.
suffer way crazy stuff. She ain't lost no eyeballs or no limbs.
But she's lost 2 kids.
Dude,
I'm just saying, man. Like, hey, look,
all of them, every one of them have suffered so much, but it's just weird. Like me and my wife were just talking about it. She loves The Handmaid's Tale. She loves it.
Don't tell me too much because I'm
like,
just starting season 3, so I don't know what's happening in season 3.
I won't. No spoilers. Everyone dies.
Well, I know that's not true.
And is reborn as mutants with powers.
It is a very weird show. A very weird concept.
The way that Margaret Atwood wrote the book, The Handmaid's Tale, is at the end of the book. All the women get the revenge, and the guys become the butler's tale.
Oh, well, there's a couple guys I wouldn't mind that happening to. So
that's not how it goes. Okay, but she was just like, I love the show, but it is kind of annoying how like she never gets messed up like the people around her do. And I was like, oh, good point.
But to that point though, like, isn't that in a way worse than actually suffering the fate yourself by having to always watch somebody around you that you care about getting hurt because of you? Like, isn't that in a way almost worse than it actually happening to you?
I don't know about that.
I think like when I'm coaching and if one of my kids comes and he gets a detention, one of the things I always do is I always make that kid watch all the players run. And just sit there and watch. Because I know once they finish running, they're going to give that kid hell. Because it's his fault that they're running and he's just there watching. To me, that's way worse. When I got in trouble, I thought that was way worse to have to watch my teammates run instead of me being able to run with them and suffer with them.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. But I think the way things are nowadays, like, people are like, still not me, I think it's more that we should be at a point where your actions have consequences.
You mean direct consequences?
Well, like there's karma and there's instant karma. Karma says, well, don't worry, you're gonna get your just reward. You're gonna get your reward, or you're gonna get what's coming to you in the next 40 lifetimes. Where instant karma is like, no, you're going to get prosecuted by the law, and you're going to have these direct things happen to you right now. And I think that's missing in society. I'll never forget The Golden Child for Eddie Murphy. One of the coolest things I never ever forget about that movie was just that there were always these children of whatever being born, like the child of justice, child of law, child of whatever. I think they said that they must protect the golden child because those evil forces killed the child of justice, and that was the greatest loss. That was one of the greatest losses they ever had. I was like, damn, that was always deep to me, So, you know, I think justice is like, you know, is real and should be happening. And when you're like, yo, you sit there and watch those kids run, I'm like, you run with them, and then they sit there and watch you run.
See, I don't know if that does anything though. Like, because I get what you're saying. Like, and I don't think that's wrong. You know, if that's what you do, like, I don't think that's wrong at all. To me, it just always seemed like it's worse to watch somebody you care about have to suffer because of something you did. Like that to me just always seemed to feel like a worse punishment than you, because some people can take the punishment. You know what I mean? Like, some people can take a punishment and be like, yeah, I can take this. Like, this is nothing. But it hurts some people worse to have to watch somebody else take a punishment for them.
Yeah, but you're flipping it, dude. Because some people are just like, cool, I can take watching you suffer for something.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And you know what? Maybe it is a case by case basis. You know, you have to see. You have to depend on who it is.
The best case scenario is that person who's done the wrong. If you're so, to me, for what you do to your kids, I mean, and that's fine, because I think your kids are probably at a point where they're like, yo, this hurts, this sucks. But to me, I would be like, all right, well, either they're gonna watch you run, because all eyes on you for what you perpetrated against the team, and showing the team that you're worthy to be back with the team. You know, or everybody runs because of you. So they can be like, yo, man, you suck, dude, while you're running with them.
Yeah, I definitely see both instances or both scenarios. And I think it is a kind of a case by case, and you just got to kind of read the room and see what's going to be the most effective way. So yeah, I think there's an argument to be made.
Well, the whole point is a lesson should be made.
Yes, and I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
See, look at you getting all sidetracked, dude. Can we finish our one's gotta go?
I was actually doing that so I wouldn't have to answer the question.
I know you were.
You know, just because Jupiter's Legacy pissed me off and they haven't really put nothing out that did anything for me, I think it's time for Netflix to go.
Did Jupiter's Legacy piss you off, or you just hated that girl?
Probably both. I really hated Chloe. Chloe is one of the worst, and we had a long conversation about it too. Chloe is one of the worst characters ever. Shout out to Chris Jericho. Ever put on TV. Ever.
I look forward to, if it's renewed for 2 more seasons, that they actually, and if they're smart enough, that they actually develop her like she's supposed to be developed. You know?
Yeah. Hopefully, because what you laid out when we talked, and maybe we'll get to it, but what you laid out is a very good redemption story. But as of right now, with what they gave me, oh my God, I've never wished for a character to bite the bullet and die, except for maybe one of the Lannisters from Game of Thrones.
You can also, to me, like I said, I'm always kind of like an internal optimist, even though I don't always show it. I'm hoping that they're going to do her justice in the next season. If they do it, because in the book, you do get a sense of her, but she's not as big as a jerk as her brother Brandon. You see Brandon, and you're like, God, this dude is just a stupid fuck up, you know. But again, in the movie, in the series, I was like, oh my God, I'm a little sympathetic towards this dude.
Yeah, he just seemed like he just really wanted to. And now we done flipped and gone to the Jupe, which is fine. But now it just seemed like he just really wanted to impress and make his father proud and do the right. Like, he genuinely seems like he wants to do the right thing, even if it means breaking the rules. He only did it because he thought it was the right thing to do. So yeah, the way they laid it out, he seems like the one that's very sympathetic, and she just comes off as a spoiled brat who literally has everything given to her. Okay.
You cut out on me.
Oh, I just said she has everything given to her. and then that's fine. But that, yeah.
Well,
so
sure.
I take Netflix. Netflix can go. I like Hulu. I love the documentaries that Hulu has.
It seems like you hold grudges, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
Because you haven't been
grudge
right in
guy.
your head with Netflix since Daredevil left.
Yeah, that's fair. And then
I'm just saying, dude.
And then you know, my
Man,
wife has made me
Netflix
watch a
had Polar.
couple. They've made me watch a couple. My wife has made me watch a couple really bad shows on Netflix, and it just really leaves a sour taste in my mouth. So it can go, and maybe some of these other really bad shows can go too.
I can make it really easy for you about Netflix. Netflix is a case in point of they're always just like, with their shareholders, we must grow. They just grew too fast and got too big for their britches, and then all their competitors are like, "Oh fuck, we got to catch up," and they said, "We are going to catch up."
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. Okay, let's actually get to our voicemail. We're going to answer this voicemail question, and then we will take a commercial break. So let's get to our voicemail question. Our good friend Philip is back.
Hey, this is your boy Phil. I'm calling because I would like to first off say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and on top of that, referencing the regular Scott and the Ozzy Killmonger conversation, I wanted to put out there. I'd like to hear for Marvel and DC, 6 mothers that you think are awesome examples of motherhood, and I also want to hear 6 bad and 6 for each. And have a good day, and can't wait to hear y'all. Ozzy, behave, and if you behave well enough, I'll give you a 10, which would be God. All right. Bye.
There you go. So as long as you're on your best behavior, you can you can get a Morgan Freeman, according to Phil.
Shoot this motherfucker!
Phil, I'm getting a Morgan Freeman today.
All right. So, and like I said, this was actually Phil actually sent that to us last week, but we had a guest and we killed a lot of time with Chris, which was a blast. Make sure you check out that episode and check out the Geek Peak podcast. So, like Phil said, again, happy Mother's Day to everyone. Let's talk about some of the mothers. We touched on it earlier. Oz, we can ping pong a little bit here. So I guess we'll do 3 and 3. We'll do 3 good each, and then we'll do 3 bad each. Oz, who is a good mother, a good example of motherhood?
A good example of motherhood. Let's see. Sue Richards is a good mom.
Yeah, I can't really. You can't really go wrong with Sue Richards. Let's see here. I am going to go with. How about Jessica Jones when she cleans herself up? I think she becomes a good mom. You got to think when she cleans herself up, she shows that you can recover and you can turn your life around. And I love me some biracial couples, so I'm going with Jessica Jones after the cleanup.
I like that. Lois Lane.
Yes, the woman who wanted to be black for a day. Yeah, she's a great mom.
Well, she birthed some super babies.
That's true. I'm gonna go with Spider-Woman. Anyone who can be a mom, be a superhero while pregnant, she's got to be a good mom if she can keep that baby safe.
No, that's an example of a bad mom. No.
Oh snap! That was not flying.
We certainly are. This.
Okay. That's fine. I'll go with the obvious one then. She's not technically this character's mom, but she is most definitely a motherly figure. I'm going with Aunt May.
Oh, that's really sweet. Aunt May is that's a nice little mom. Example of a good mother. Let me see here.
There's still a very obvious one out there. You probably don't want to use it, but there is another very obvious one out there.
Well, I mean, you gotta say that Martha Kent is one of the best moms around.
No doubt. What can you say? That was actually going to be my pick.
This dude literally said, "Yo, she's like trying to keep the baby safe, fighting supervillains." I was like, "What is wrong with you, dude?"
Yeah, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties, as everyone knows who has listened to this show. Me and technology don't really get along, so I don't know what happened, but I know I did something wrong. But we're back.
Dude, you're rocking a 10-year-old computer.
13.
Sorry, 13-year-old computer. If we are on Apple Mojave, you're on like Apple Pangea, or
this computer is almost as old as you are.
Dude, your computer is almost. It should be. You must be on operating system. What's this? I don't know.
Yep, get it out. You got to give me. You can't set the one-liner up and then not deliver it.
Well, I'm not trying to even be mean, but what is your operating system? Bronze Age.
I don't even know what that is.
You know, there's a Copper Age, the Bronze Age, the Silver Age. Like you're on.
I'm back in the golden age of comics.
Dude, your computer is pre-pandemic, like the Spanish flu.
All right, where we left off. What was your final good mother?
I said Martha Kent.
Martha Kent.
No, Martha Kent.
My final good mother, or at least I assume she's a good mother, since she had the nerve to pretty much call herself a superhero. I'm gonna go with Iris West.
You are not the Flash, Barry.
Okay, that's fine.
We are.
Even though she did let her daughter die in the TV show because she wasn't willing to sacrifice herself, but that's okay.
Okay, so then that would be a bad mom. I don't know what the disconnect is, dude. I don't know how to help you with these things.
Up until that point, though, she was a really good mom for her.
Right.
Until that point.
Up until she decided to fight Thanos while she was 9 months pregnant and her water broke. She was a good mom. Come on, dude. All
right, let's get to the bad moms, because I haven't listed any bad moms yet.
Well, I do. Spider Woman. And the next one we see Iris West. Okay, so there you go. I got two off the bat.
I got two off the bat.
What you got, dude?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Mystique. She's a bad mom.
Mystique is great. She's totally a bad mom for sure.
Yeah. I don't. Spider-Woman's a tough one to top.
She looks so cute in her little pregnant superhero costume. No, she does not look cute in a superhero costume, dude.
Let's go with Scarlet Witch.
well, she never really had kids, dude, so she's a bad person, not a bad mom.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that. I'll live with that. How about let's go with Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, I can live with that. She has good intentions, but she's a bad mom.
She does have good intentions. I mean, yeah. Okay. So who's your third?
My third.
Since you took my two good ones and flipped them and made them bad.
Well, Madeline Pryor, who was a clone of Jean Grey. Cable's mom. She was a pretty bad mom.
Okay, give me one of her heinous acts. Because I don't know much about her.
Well, she was like the goblin queen. She was created by Mr. Sinister. I just think she's a bad mom because, like, you know, she wasn't really a good mother figure to Cable, and like, yeah, you know, the Cable got lost in like 1,000 years into the future, you know.
Okay. For my final bad mom, who else is a really bad mom?
Like a real bad mom, Lady Shiva.
Is she a bad mom?
Yeah, because you know, I bet she was fighting when she was pregnant.
Oh, she was definitely fighting up until the baby came out.
Oh, God, but
she probably fought the doctor that was trying to help her.
Killed the doctor.
Killed the doctor. Killed the doctor. What about let's go with Bruce Wayne's mom. I mean, we both.
Why is she a bad mom?
We both know they weren't the best of parents when it really came down to it. We both know they had their fair share of secrets. She was the mom that seemed good on the outside, till you got into the home and you found out she was cheating with Alfred.
Well, dude, you literally have zero judgment for this episode. So, like, I don't know if I can agree with that. I don't know if I can trust the guy who's like, well, she's a superhero who's pregnant.
Oh, man. Well, that was a good question, though.
It was a great question.
Yeah, it's a very, very good question.
There's some piss poor answers.
Where would let's just throw some other moms out there and tell me where you would rank them. What about Mary Jane?
Is she pregnant?
I'm saying, how do you think she would be as a mom?
Oh, she'd be a pretty hot mom.
Okay. That's not what I asked you.
Oh, I don't know, man. You know, I can't wait for Father's Day because I love to see how these people will be as fathers. You know.
Oh, we're definitely covering that. Cause there's plenty of bad dads.
Well, let's see. Mary Jane, I think she'd be fine. How about oh man, I'm trying to think of some good ones. How about She-Hulk?
I don't know, because you know She-Hulk go kind of hard, so I feel like by the time the baby can walk, she's training.
Well, can I bum you out for a little bit?
Please.
So apparently She-Hulk is a bad mom because Old Man Logan. That's how all the Hawks were born.
Oh, you said She-Hulk. I thought you meant I thought you said She-Hawk.
No, who is She-Hulk? What superhero is She-Hulk?
Hey, look, I was thinking Hawk Girl. Hawk.
Oh my God!
When you said She-Hulk.
Yo, what's up with What's up with He-Hulk and She-Hulk?
Hawkman and Hawk Girl. Yeah, I was when you said She-Hulk, that's exactly who came into my mind was Hawk Girl. I was like, oh yeah, she's terrible.
Oh yeah, it's Kendra. She's a terrible mom. Like, come on, dude, what's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, I'm tripping.
And not the She-Hulk from the CW because she's terrible. You know.
What about Dinah Lance?
Oh man, I don't know. I think I see like if you're talking about, I think her and Oliver like would make good parents, but I will tell you any white canary, black canary from the TV show, gosh, she sucks.
She sucks.
Her character's annoying.
What about what about Storm?
I think Storm would be a good mom.
Okay. What about? Oh, go ahead.
What about Shuri?
Shuri would be a good mom.
Okay.
I think at the least she's going to pass down her intelligence. So at the least her kid will be smart because of her.
What about Harley Quinn?
Stop it.
You were saying she's a good mom.
Stop it. That's like, no. There's no way she could be a good mom.
What about...
Because you know Harley Quinn is definitely going to be fighting. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Harley Quinn might be a good mom because she's so crazy that this kid would be the most important thing to her, and she would do absolutely anything to protect it. She might be a good mom.
Yeah, I think your judgment on moms are pretty bad. That's for this episode.
Well, your sister's my mom, so I can't be that.
Or
bad.
I think your actual judgment is pretty good, but for this episode, it's really horrible. What about? Well, on those lines, what about? Trying to think of a good one. Oh, you know what? You never see portrayed as being pregnant. You never see Elektra being shown as being pregnant.
That's because she's undead. Can she get pregnant?
I don't know.
As an undead?
I don't know how the body works like that, you know. You just never see her, you know.
That's a good point, though. You know, Daredevil, because Matt Murdock doesn't have any kids in the comics, right?
No, not like, dude. You never see those two as, like, having children, you know. It's just weird.
What about, does Emma Frost have any kids?
No, but it'll be interesting. It would be interesting to see her, and also, you know, Black Widow can't have kids, so.
Okay. Let's see. Let's wrap up with one more each. Let's give one more each, and then we'll take our commercial break. What about? Let's go with. How do you think Carol Danvers would be as a mother?
Absentee.
I think she would suck too, just as bad as she sucks in the movies. Go ahead.
Let it all out, bro. Let it all out. We're here for you.
Oh, man. Go ahead. Who's your final mom, dude?
I need a final mom, dude. Okay, come on.
I need one more mom from you, good or bad.
Okay.
What about Rogue? What about Rogue?
Oh, she'd be terrible, dude. Like, she could never touch her baby.
Oh, that would. You know, I wonder if her baby would be immune to that. I wonder if her baby would be the one person immune to her touch.
It's a give or take, because maybe the baby would have, like, antigens from her mom, so that he or she wouldn't. That'd be a tough one, though, dude.
That's one I'm surprised that's never been tackled, though, because that could be a very interesting storyline, especially if her mom could touch her. But let's just say, for example, she had the kid with Gambit, but Gambit could never touch her. Like, that would be a very interesting dynamic and story. I'm surprised it's never been touched on. Marvel, call me.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I didn't even, thank you.
The last one. Huh? Oh, what about Gamora?
Ooh. I would want to say yes because she had a terrible childhood, so I would think she would want better for her kids, and I think Star-Lord would probably be a pretty cool dad. She's probably sucked too. Yeah, I think she'd be pretty bad.
Okay.
All right, so we're ended on a sour note. Apparently my choice in mothers isn't bad, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to reevaluate some things in my life. And we'll be right back.
This is Chris and Lance asking you to check out our podcast, Comic Book Keepers.
Each episode features one hero, villain, team, or series.
Learn history behind a wide variety of comic book characters and creators.
Get recommendations on what storylines to read.
Uncover how characters were created.
Highlight adaptations in media and answer comic fandom's what-if questions.
You can find us on all major streaming platforms or on most social media at CBKcast.
And remember, keep your friends close,
but your comic books closer.
And we are back. Oh, man. We almost had some more technical difficulties. I'm sorry. I keep saying we. I almost had some more technical difficulties. This has been a really, really rough episode. Just to break a little kayfabe, Uncle Oz wanted to record the episode tomorrow, and I was like, nah, son. Listen, little homie, we're going to record it on my time. This is my world. I run this. And obviously
Uncle Oz was like, man, you sure, dude? It might be in our best interest to record tomorrow. But if you feel strongly, I'm here for you. Yeah. You're like, yes, son, we're going to do it my way.
Yeah, I was bucking at him. I had my chest puffed out. I was ready to go. And obviously, the universe and my laptop had other plans. So it probably would have been best. So if this might come out a little wonky. And as you know, I don't do any type of editing. So this is going to be a rough one. Know that. Well, and it's not because I can't. Well, it's not because I don't try to. It's because every time I've tried to edit anything, the computer just freezes and restarts.
I will remind the listeners and yourself when I said, hey, man, do you mind if we do the show tomorrow? You said, you can do a show tomorrow. I'm doing a show tonight.
The team, what team? Nah, I had to quote Remember the Titans. Nah, I'm going to worry about me and I'm going to get mines. You know?
Well, that's what you usually do.
I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. Is that what you wanted to hear? I was wrong. Is that what you wanted?
No, bro. It's good. I mean, I'm here for you, man.
All right.
You know, this guy, man, threatening me on the line, man, talking about, yo, man, you don't do this show, man. I don't know what's going to happen to you.
Well, you know, Evan, let's not forget that our good friend Evan the Great does still have a hit out on my knees, so.
Yeah, well, dude. Well, if he actually saw your knees, he'd be like, they're shot already, dude.
You know, it is, you know, the take a knee name is a literal thing because they are trying to take my knees.
Well, it's called take a knee because I can barely stand up. I'm so old.
That's true too. Let's get to our other questions. We had a couple more. We had two more questions that came in via email. One of them did not leave a name, and they had a very interesting name for you, Oz. And the other one is from Steve, but not my nemesis from the Nerd Cantina, who is also part of the reigning, defending 2021 Character Madness Tournament champion with Dean Winchester. So,
what was the interesting name for me? I'm curious.
So we'll go ahead and go with their question.
I love this.
Their question is, let's see here, who is your favorite Star Trek character? This one actually was specifically written for you, Oz. Who is your favorite Star Trek character? And it was signed Smushed In Black Guy. So, I don't know who that is, but that question is definitely all yours.
Let me tell you something. Because I don't know who that guy is, but I want to know who that guy is.
But I can tell you this: the Smushed In Black Guy is definitely my favorite character.
Yeah.
But great question, Smushed In Black Guy. Oz, who is your favorite Star Trek character?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. When it all comes and it's said and done, I always gravitate towards Picard.
Okay. Is there a specific reason why?
I just, in the face of, I'm not always, I don't strive to be like him because I know I have my weaknesses, but he is a quintessential person who morality trumps politics, morality trumps weird loyalties you may have. Doing the right thing is a universal trait. It's trait. It's not like set by laws or whatever. It's just basic humanity towards each other,
Okay. As influential as a character like Geordi LaForge was, I'm actually surprised it was Picard.
No, LaForge was awesome, but they always if they had LaForge now, they would not play him the way they played him back during then. They always kind of made him every other person's best friend. Like his best friend was the android. They never had him in a relationship, just stuff like that. So You know,
he was literally the token black guy.
He was a token black, but he was important. But man, like he fell in love with a hologram.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that says a lot right there.
And then he met the real life person. Turns out she's married, and I was just like, good God, why you keep playing this dude, man?
On top of him just being blind off the bat.
Yeah, and I didn't mind any of that with the visor and then with the synthetic eyes, but they weren't making him a whole character by like having him like being complex relationships and stuff like that, you know.
Okay, good question. Switched in black guy, please let us know who you are, because I'd love to know who you are, because it's very creative.
That was right up your alley, too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I couldn't wait to read it. Next question. Who would you cast as your Fantastic Four? And this one is just written from Steve. And I do know this is not from my nemesis, though. From the Nerd Cantina. And shout out to the Nerd Cantina. They have a great group over there. Great conversations. Join their group and check out their podcast as well. But again, this is not from my nemesis. But who would you cast as your Fantastic Four, Oz? I have mine. Who do you have as yours?
Who do you have as yours?
So, I'm not going to go with the, everyone's favorite typical picks, Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. I even though I think they'd be good, I'm not going to go with those. I actually went with a little bit different. I have Brandon Roth as my Reed Richards. For those who don't know, he was Superman in Superman Returns. He also plays the Atom on the CW shows. I think he'd be I think he'd be a real good Mr. Fantastic. He fits that very well. Sue Storm. As I've mentioned earlier, I've been watching a lot of Handmaid's Tale, and I think the two lead women in that show, Elizabeth Moss or Yvonne Strahovski, either one of them would be excellent Sue Storms. I might lean a little bit more to Yvonne because she's a little bit taller and she's more of a natural blonde. But Elizabeth Moss is just such a great actress, and now I'm just now, as far as the show goes, seeing her in a little bit more an action-esque role. She's starting to show a little bit more grit to her. So I'm leaning a little bit more to Elizabeth Moss, and she can pull off the blonde look. I think she'd be a good Sue Storm for the action stuff. Johnny Storm, an actor who I'm very high on, and I think he is kind of waiting.
Smoking that poison ivy.
Well, I think he's waiting for that role to really catapult him into an action hero or just a bigger star than what he is. Dacre Montgomery. He was in Stranger Things. He was kind of the villain for a while, and he saved everyone in the end. He was also the Red Power Ranger in the Power Rangers reboot. I think he'd be a very good Johnny Storm. He's got charm. He's a good-looking kid. I think he's not a kid. He's a good-looking guy. I think he would fit that role very well. The Thing. It's interesting because I think the perfect person for The Thing would be David Harbour. But they're not going to have him since he's the Red Guardian. They're probably not going to put him back in another Marvel role. But I think he would be perfect for The Thing. And if I can't have David Harbour, give me John Cena.
I like that. I would do Batista for The Thing.
Batista wouldn't be bad either. He was my third pick after John Cena. Because I like Batista too, though. He's very good.
Trying to think. Sue Richards, I would do. Yeah, that's a hard one to see.
I had like 4 or 5 different people ready for Sue Richards. I have a lot of people outside of Emily Blunt. Like, there's a movie called I can't think of what it was called, but there's another actress who is very. Let me look up this movie. She would have been very good for the role as well. Oz, who you got for your Reed Richards while you try to think of your Sue Richards? Did you have a Reed Richards ready?
Oh man. Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh,
I guess you didn't have these ready, even though you should have had these ready.
Oh yeah, right. Got you. I know. I was trying to save a pregnant woman from fighting a supervillain. Sorry. Maybe like I still like the Emma Blunt and the John thing.
Oh, boo, boo.
Tell me how you really feel.
I am.
And then I like a good Sue would be, because you want her to be able to like portray the young to the more mature, powerful Sue. Give me some more Sues. I don't know if your Sues are good.
You don't know if my Sues are good.
Let me hear your Sues. Let me judge.
Well, I gotta find the movie because I can't think of the movie that the lady's in, and I don't want to get her name wrong because she's not very well known. There was a movie that came out, I think, in 2020 or 2019, where they kidnapped a bunch of people and they made them play this game of survival in this town, and the townspeople would like hunt them down one by one, and it had the guy from This Is Us in it. She was really good. I'm gonna look that up right now.
Okay.
Because I think she would very easily fit into that Hunt. The Hunt. That's the name of the movie, The Hunt. And the actress name is Betty Gilpin. She's a blonde. She did a great job in that movie as far as the action. I think she could be Sue Richards very easily, and I think she could pull that off. So yeah, Betty Gilpin is her name. That would be my next choice after the two Handmaid's Tales. And to be honest with you, old boy from This Is Us, Justin Hartley, he could be the Human Torch for real if you really wanted to do it. Like he could easily be Johnny Storm.
That's true.
I know he's a little bit older, but he looks a little bit younger than he is, and he's got the look, he's got the charm, so he could easily be Johnny Storm as well. You know what I'm saying?
I have no argument with that. My silence is not. My silence is agreement, not disagreement.
That's what I thought, Oz.
Oh God.
Hey, you know who else could actually be a pretty decent Sue? The girl that plays Agent Carter.
Let me help you out here. If you see here, let me just, because we need to wrap the show up. Let me just get you one out right at the box. Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Let me help you out there, Tiger.
She's good. I don't know if she's Sue.
Please.
I don't know if she's Sue. I'd rather her be like a Emma Frost. I'd rather her be a bad. I'd rather her be a villain, to be honest with you. And I'd have her be an evil Emma Frost. Because she's so good as a villain. Like in Fast and Furious, she's very good as a villain.
Okay.
But it's not a bad pick though at all. I'll take that over Emily Blunt just because everybody picks Emily Blunt. Okay. Oz, let's touch on Jupiter's Legacy, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. Obviously, you know how I feel about Chloe. What were your thoughts on Jupiter's Legacy?
I love for us to go deeper into it. Pops the next show. It was cool, but I watched Invincible before I watched Jupiter's Legacy, and I kind of was like, oh, okay. It was good. I got more sympathetic towards Brandon than I did in the comic book, but I still appreciate everything. It was good to see some of the characters manifest. Some questions were answered about the crew members and stuff like that. I enjoyed the ride. It was good, but it was just like some things were just like pissing me off.
Yeah, it was a very uneven show. I thought the very first episode was pretty well done as far as getting you hooked and kind of getting you intrigued, but I just don't think they did a very good job of everything in between as far as just keeping you intrigued and honestly really giving you characters to root for. Like I think it's important in shows like this when you're presenting almost not even anti-heroes, but just, heroes with a certain code or a darker type of superhero show where anybody could die like we saw. It's important to have people that you can root for, and I felt like the main characters outside of Brandon, who was even like to the point where it's like, all right, dude, like you got to do your own thing at some point. They just didn't have enough people to root for to justify the series. Like I felt like this could have been a movie. It would almost been better to be in a movie form because they didn't need all those episodes.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. It got kind of weird,
And the fight scenes weren't even that good, though. Like, the powers were cool, but the fights were just really kind of disappointing.
Well, there's a lot of disappointment. The Utopian's powers were not. You didn't know where his powers were, because at one point he's the most powerful person on the planet, and then at another point he's like struggling to bail to plow and row that field and stuff. It was interesting,
That dude got beat up every time he was on screen.
Yeah, he did. He literally did.
He really got beat up. He's the most powerful being on the planet, and he got beat up every time he was on. He got beat up by a fake of the villain. Like, how does the most powerful man in the world get beat up by a fake?
Yeah, it's so much silliness,
I mean, that's literally like Superman getting beat up by a fake Doomsday. Not the real Doomsday, but a fake Doomsday who doesn't even have the abilities or the brain capacity. It didn't make a lot of sense, and I felt like the power levels were just kind of like they were elevated and nerfed depending on what the situation called for. It was very. They try. I don't know. It wasn't for me, and Chloe is just god awful. Even when they gave me my interracial relationship, it just sucked.
Yeah, I know. But I do look forward to seeing those two mature, because from the comic book, you're going to see some different levels of stuff.
Well, we will see about that. I will watch season 2 because what you laid out.
Are you going to watch that? Are you going to read the comic?
Yeah. Do you have it by chance? Because if you do, I will borrow that from you and watch it. I will not go spend money on it.
I do.
Okay. Well, if you got it, I will read the comic, because I do think the actual concept of we do not kill regardless of absolutely anything. I will let you die instead of killing. Like, I do think the concept, there was something there to that. Like, I that's what kind of got me hooked, was like, this dude was willing to just let everyone die just because he wouldn't kill. Like, I think the concept was there, but the execution was just terrible. So yeah,
Batman meets Superman,
and it's not even like Batman would have. I don't. I mean, yeah, it is, but like to a whole different level. Like, I don't even know if Batman would let Damian die instead of killing somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know Batman's thing is not to kill, but I think if like Dick or Damian was like, and he had no choice, he would kill. I think Batman at the end of the day would kill to save Alfred, Batman, or Dick Grayson, Damian, somebody like that he genuinely cares for his family.
I don't know about that though.
I mean, maybe not, but that could just be, I don't know. That's why I like the concept, because it does make you think, what are you willing to give up to keep your code? You know, right. What are you willing to sacrifice to keep your code? That's a very interesting concept when you're that powerful. And, you know, it's like, how do you get mad at your son for saving your mom's life when he killed the bad guy to save your mom? Like, it's a very interesting concept that they dropped the ball on. So,
I agree.
Oz, have you, before we get to our final blow, have you listened to the new J. Cole album?
No, I hear it's good though.
Fire! What are you gonna rank Jupiter's Legacy on our ranking scale?
I've been waiting for it to come out, so I'll give it an Iris. Whoa!
An Iris West?
No, I take it back. I'll give it a MGK.
6 for me, dog. 6 for you?
Just a straight MGK, nothing else.
Okay. I am going to give it a Jax.
Yeah, these motherfuckers work.
And you know what? 98% of that is Chloe's fault.
Yeah, you got some stuff about Chloe. You need to resolve.
Chloe, technology, just
because Chloe the superhero and Chloe the actress, they don't care.
They don't. And my computer doesn't care either. All right, that's
Oh, we know.
Let's get to the final blow.
Your computer is like the 90-year-old person driving 35 in the Autobahn because they just don't care. They're like, I don't care. I've done my thing.
All right, let's get to the final blow.
Oh, I love that.
It's hard, bro. It's hard, bro.
Yeah, nothing much, man. I had a long week. I'm looking forward to geeking out and reading up on some comics I need to read up on. And I finished the last season of Castlevania. It was good. It was fun.
Okay. For my final blow, I watched on Hulu the Nickelodeon documentary, kind of chronicling the rise of Nickelodeon, how it went from this company of a bunch of creators who were just intent on creating great content and original content and building it up to where it became a corporation. And instead of being about creating content, they were just about making money. And it seemed like they kind of blamed Dora the Explorer and SpongeBob for it. I grew up on Nickelodeon, Kenan and Kel, all that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? The game shows they had. It's just a great little trip down memory lane for me. Pete and Pete, Salute Your Shorts, like just classic shows. It was a lot of fun, and kind of sad, because it lost a lot of originality when it went to the corporation. But a very good documentary kind of recapping the history. Oz, tell me where they can find you on Twitter as you make your way to 50.
You can find me at OzzyReal.
And as always, you can find us on Twitter, Need4MarvelVsDC. That's the number 4. Email us, Need4MarvelVsDC @GoToFireLife.com. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week. Hopefully the computer works. We might not even have a show if it doesn't. We'll see what happens.
Pregnant superheroes.
Pregnant superheroes. Tell everyone we'll talk to them next time.
As usual, peace and chicken grease.
And y'all have a good time, because we're going to have a good time until we talk to y'all next time. Peace. Enjoy that cold.
You reaching up, acting up, break it down, weigh it up, now back it up. Make a 5 on my next regular. Nigga playing with us, that's negative. Go back to start, that's never. I'm a boss, my closet level. Ain't no off days on my schedule. As long as I live, we live forever. Told my twin and shit get better. These niggas that slip, let me ahead of. Got my feet up, I pay 70 bands to have sex on the jet. I don't need them, that shit in the past. I'm feeling like what's next. Got my speed up, foot all on the gas.
This is Defy Life.
What you doing on a Sunday?